And good evening, hockey fans in Newfoundland and Labrador, across Canada, and around the world via the internet. We welcome you inside the Windsor Stadium here in Grand Falls, Windsor, for a game in the Newfoundland and Labrador U18 Major Hockey League between the hometown Central Impact and the visiting Western Kings. Just the one game this weekend. It's a home and home. These two teams will meet tomorrow in Corner Brook. Hi, everybody. George Scott along with Robert Goldie and cameraman Jason Power to bring you this game this evening. And Robert, for the, well, first of all, welcome. We didn't have you the first weekend. We did the opening three games against Tri-Pen. And almost didn't have you then. Need to turn up your microphone.
No, George, I was able to take in a little bit. I had our annual, and I got to say, really good golf tournament that weekend on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I probably could have got out there Saturday night. I took a bit of ribbing, but I'm glad to be back now.
Yeah, good to have you. I guess for the Impact, the big story this evening is who's not playing.
Yeah, I've been, and even though I haven't been actually in person to watch the games, I've been following them since the start of the season. And, of course, I do a lot of golfing with Shane Luckenchuck and Brian Casey. And, you know, we've been talking hockey most of the summer, believe it or not. And, of course, yes, they're missing three key players tonight. You know, arguably their three best forwards, Adam Byrne, Keegan Helmsel, and, of course, Anthony Hurley. And, of course, anytime that you're missing those key guys, you know, people often say, you know, what are you going to do without them? Well, it's not what you're going to do without them. How is someone going to fill their roles? Nobody expects anybody to play like them, but it gives other people opportunities, George.
Yeah, they got involved in a bit of a dust-up out in St. John's last weekend against the Growlers, and three of those players picked up suspensions.
Yes.
Council and Hurley, 2 games each, so this will be the second game of their suspension. The last Sunday morning was the first game they sat out. For Adam Byrne, he picked up a 3-game suspension, so he's out tonight and again tomorrow for the game in Corner Brook. But surprisingly, or I guess pleasantly surprisingly, for the Impact, without those players, they played Sunday morning and they actually beat the Growlers.
Yeah, and George, we see that quite often. And, you know, regardless of the level that it's at, whether it's at, you know, a high level such as this here, if it's, you know, some other 15 or 18 rep teams, or even in the NHL, there's lots of times when players who are out, and even though they bring a lot to the table, other people come in and say, you know, this is my opportunity right here now. And of course, nobody expects you to play like those guys, but you also play to the best of your abilities, and that's all the coach can ask for.
The couple of one piece of good news in particular for the Impact, they've got Jackson Ingram back, who missed a number of games due to injury.
Yep.
And young player Garrett Peary.
Yeah, he's
going to get a chance.
An AP player. He'll get to show his wares tonight, and hopefully take advantage of every opportunity he's given. And, you know, this Impact team, George, are very deep. And, you know, speaking to Coach Tremblett and to Coach Casey and to management with Glenn Casey and Shane Luckenchuck, you know, they're very, very high on this team. You know, 1 through 20, they have guys that are in and out of the lineup on every other weekend. They have stellar goaltending. They got some real good puck movers on D. And that's the thing. Most importantly, George, is how you play without the puck. Everybody can see what you do with the puck. And Coach Casey's been stressing, what do you do without the puck? How do you play between the dots? And that's important.
Yeah, for the Western Kings, not quite sure what changes they may have, but it's been so far another tough season for the Western Kings. They've had some close games, but not a whole lot to show for it. And you know, how do you motivate your team when you're just not winning any games?
George, you know,
tough question. I know.
Going back to my coaching days, I'm not quite sure, and it's a real tough sell if you're with the management team and the coaching staff with the Western Kings, because. And I really don't like to harp on this. It's like if you're in games, you can keep players motivated. You really can. And even though you know you're going up against a formidable opponent, if you can keep the game close and not be, you know, really being blown out, then your players will catch on to that. But, George, we saw a lot of games last year with this Western Kings team. After really the first period, it was pretty much a done deal. And then, you know, you can look up and down your bench and coaching staff, and doesn't matter what you do, it's one of those things that you say, okay, we're in for it tough again. It's a real tough deal, but give them credit, they're here again.
Yeah, maybe they're looking at and saying, okay, we're catching the Impact a little short-handed this evening. Now's our chance.
Yep.
Go out and, you know, give it your best effort. And who knows? You know, that's why you play the game, as I always say, right?
You said it.
Never know.
No, exactly. That's why we play the game. And the thing is that, we'll go back to our days, George, when we were doing the old senior hockey league, when, import players, some teams would say, well, we're not going to bring them in this weekend. And me and you would look at each other and say, why not? You bring them in because people want to see them to play, and they want to play, and that's what you do. Because on any given night, it really doesn't matter how much a team is better than the other team. The results could change, on a dime. Let's be honest.
I've always said, one team can be more talented,
Sure.
but effort can make up the gap.
Yeah. Myself and Coach Casey speak about that all the time. Effort is everything.
All right, teams are out on the ice. We're getting set to go. We're just waiting for the national anthem, and then we will be underway. Starting goaltenders for tonight's game for the Central Impact will be number 34, Jaden Lynch. And for the Western Kings, number 1, Matthew Hunt gets the call to start this one. And again, just the one game here at the Windsor Stadium this weekend. The teams will head to the West Coast and play their home and home tomorrow evening in Corner Brook.
George, we've spoken a fair bit about both teams, but one thing I got to say, I'm very impressed with the new unis that the Western Kings are sporting. I really like them.
Yep, the black and the red.
Nice and bright. I love those.
And for the Impact, they're in their home whites, and we are underway. Puck down in the Impact end. It's cleared out to center. Picked up and shot as far as the blue line. Knocked down there by Quinn Price, and it's dumped in. Kings on it in behind the net. This is Butt. Having Butt up along the boards. Still kept in. They'll cycle it behind the goal. Picked up over there by Applin. One thing I don't like about their jerseys, there's no names on the back.
There's no names on the back, no.
And it's the first time we've seen them this year. Here's
Yeah.
Pittman coming the other way for the Impact. Shoots it in. He gets knocked down behind the goals. Picked up by Gosney. He'll fire it out. They'll go all the way down the ice. Jack Boone back to get it. Both teams change. Some speed coming in over the blue line from Boone. Drops it back for Pitcher. Shot stopped by the defense. Sits in the crease area. Comes out in front. They score.
Goaltender made a great save on the first shot, George. Coming across, where it was a one-timer. He made a nice pad save, and then it was just wide open in front. And an easy put away for a 1-0 goal lead early. Just a minute and 10 in. Good shot, but all started from a good rush with end-to-end rush from Jack Boone, who possessed some good speed. Went to his off wing, was able to get a pass across. Central Impact up 1-0.
Goal came with just under 2 minutes into this first period. Quick start for the Impact.
Yeah, and the thing is that, George, one of the things you talk about, it's hard to be motivated when you're on the losing end. It's also tough to keep players motivated and get them to do the real hard board play when you're winning a lot. And that's a key thing that Coach Casey's going to have to look at as well.
Quick outlet to Badcock. Badcock breaking in. Good defense there by Alex Coles of Western. That came out in front and picked up by the Kings. They'll bring it out over to an open wing. Jack Boone back to get it. You mentioned Jack Boone, good skater. Noticed last or 2 weeks ago against Trypan, he was carrying the puck a lot more than what we had seen in the past.
And I think that the coaching staff is impressed that upon him, George.
Impact not getting a lot of scoring from their defense. Shot by Connors is tipped wide. Remember, the defenseman yet to get a goal, but the team is playing well.
They're in on every play, and that's one thing that, you want to have good outlet passes, and that's something that they work on every practice. And if you're given a little bit of skating room, some ice, and of course this ice is much smaller than some of the other rinks that they will play in. Particularly, you're going out to Western and you're playing tomorrow, much bigger ice surface. So really, you look at D, they'll have a little bit more room to maneuver.
Face-off win for the Impact. Pittman got a shot on goal. Hunt made the save. What a crazy game last night out at the Glacier in Mount Pearl between the East Coast Blizzard and the
9-8?
Nissan Growlers. Get
Nissan,
used to saying that. They've got the new title sponsor, O'Neill Nissan.
Okay.
Yeah, it ended up 8-8 after regulation. Went to overtime. Ended up going to a shootout before the Growlers won it, 9-8.
Yeah, real defensive battle. I'm sure the coaches were pleased with that.
Watched a little bit of the replay of that game today. And yeah, there was no shortage of scoring. Haggett back to get it. He's being tracked down by Austin, and Alex Austin. We saw him last year. He's a terrific player for the Western Kings.
He is. I've been watching him for a number of years now.
That's tipped in. Applin gets it out, and here is Alex Austin. That one off the defense into the corner, comes to the side of the net and behind. Austin looking for it back there. Right out in front it comes and cleared to the boards by the Impact, kept in by the Kings. It's up through the middle, missed everybody, and that will be an icing call against the Impact. Looking down to our right, Robert, a number of the international students at Exploits Valley High here in Grand Falls, Windsor. I was substituting there the last couple of days and got to meet a number of them. They're from Spain and Germany.
Yeah, I can remember my years at Bobwood Collegiate, going back at least 8 or 9 years. Every international students every year, and they just add so much to each of the environments, and they love to come to watch hockey. And most of them have never seen a hockey game before.
I'm wondering, I might get a chance to chat with some of them during the intermission, see if this is indeed their first hockey game.
Well, I can guarantee you, if you're from Spain or Brazil, it's probably a good chance that you haven't seen many hockey, especially live.
Germany, you may have seen a game.
Yeah,
but I noticed a number of them came all in a group.
Yeah.
Came together to the game this evening. That gets by everybody, and it'll get out over the blue line. Owen Snow from Bishop Falls moves it ahead. Here's Clendenning to Gale. Tried to give it back to Clendenning. Gale is a pass-first kind of guy. Number of assists this year. I think it's
good skater. Reads ice
10
well.
assists, a couple of goals, I believe.
Yeah. There we see 55, Garrett Perry getting his first shift of the evening.
There he is, yep. The AP player, his first game.
Made a nice pass.
And fed it right through the crease, comes to the boards. Price has got it. Back into Perry. He'll swing it back to Price. Price weaves his way in. Definitely an offensive-minded defenseman for the Impact. Price likes to get up into the play.
Good skater. He gets back in a hurry. Captain of the team this year. Third full season with the team.
Connors read that, kept it in. He filled in back at the point for Price, who'd gone in deep.
Connors is having a good start to the season as well, getting on the scoreboard often.
And this will be an icing call this time against the Western Kings. 14:44 left to go. By the way, we do not have our time clock. I bring the lights on the time clock here in Windsor Stadium are just very, very dull. We just can't pick it up. So rather than have a blurry one or one you can't pick out very well, even when we zoom in on it, We'll just give it to you verbally. I'm trying to remember to do that. Shot from the point, held by Hunt.
George, one of the things that you notice, Western Kings are making very quick changes. And, you know, you travel in today, and I know that people say they're only kids, you travel. But I tell you, it's tiring when you travel. There's no doubt about it. Especially if it's a Friday such as this on a school day. Saturdays and Sundays, not so much.
Yeah, about a 3-hour bus ride, I would think.
Yeah, give or take for sure.
Kings with a chance to move it out. Good read by Boone to break that up. Richards had his pass picked off by Pitcher. Pitcher bringing it in, trying to split the defense. He did, and got a shot away.
Big, strong kid. Protects the puck well, gets it in and out. Ill-advised pass from Richards coming through the middle like that. Tight quarters.
Connors again able to stick handle through the defense. Western caught a couple of times fishing for the puck.
One of the things you'll notice about Connors, he's a gritty player, George. Plays with an edge.
Yeah, he and Clendenning, not too big guys, but having very effective years for the Impact.
Yeah, Connors is not a big guy, but he plays big. He's really good in the corners.
Pittman drops it. Burke with a shot off the stick of, that one off of Jackson Rousel and up and out of play.
That was a great delay over on the right-hand side by the puck there to get it back. Burke coming in. Really just a simple, what you call bring it out, bring it back into your feet, and allows you a couple of seconds and made a great pass. Defenseman did a good job of getting in the way, got a stick on the puck.
Sent back in by Hibbs. Landon Hibbs from Bishop's Falls.
Botwood.
Oh, so he is. Yeah, I looked at you twice. Yeah. He is from Botwood.
I had to correct you on that one, George.
Yeah.
Since he's been a former student of mine for 3 or 4 years.
You would know. There's Hibbs from Botwood with the puck.
Big kid. Strong.
Head to Clendenning. Will Clendenning. And there was Badcock. Gale jumps off the bench, joins the rush. Shot comes in, kicked away by Hunt. Badcock digging forward in the corner. Clendenning gets knocked down. It's off the glass and out. And here's a race for it. Austin trying to get to it. Puck was rolling, couldn't catch up to it. Goes in behind the net. Western Kings have it. Right out in front of shot, and a big save that time by Jaden Lynch as he got the left pad down. Puck was bouncing around. He made a great save.
Yeah, got his left pad out there in a hurry. It was a little bit of a broken play. The puck got knocked up over the glass and coming down around the ice. Quinn Price did a great job of getting back, closing, but there was a little bit of a loose puck in front of the net, but Lynch made a good save.
Face-off win for the Impact. Badcock over on the far boards. Back in his own end, Bursey gets it out to center. Battle for it there. Comes to the near side. Delayed offside being indicated against Western. Coles didn't realize it. Now he does and heads out. Now the Impact move it out. Pass in behind Clendenning. Picked off. Shot back in.
When you've got a free play like that, you've got to make a better exit. That just wasn't a good one for Impact at that time.
Austin fed it in front, cleared away by the defense. Badcock gets it, shoots it in. That line will head off. Good hit down in the corner.
Been a couple good hits so far.
There's the defenseman Snow up there for the Impact. Walking along the boards. Parsons digs it out. Parsons drops it off. Connors with a shot, another save made by Hunt.
Winning a board battle there, and that's important. I'm sure Coach Robinson is saying to his troops there now for the Western Kings, you know, guys, just keep battling, and that's all we can ask for. Our goaltenders, you know, made a couple of really key saves, particularly last couple. Big goaltender, I really like him.
faced 9 shots so far here in the first period. We've got just under 11 minutes left to go in the first, by the way.
Some of them at close range as well.
Pitcher, a long shot. It's tipped. Scores Connors.
Yeah. And there you go.
No chance for the goalie that time.
No. Well, he's in behind the D, George. That can't happen. As a D man, you're top. You should see the guy's jersey in front of you. You can't see him if he's behind you. So if you just watch this right here on our replays, the puck goes at the D. Just a simple pass shot in, but Connors goes to the net. Now just look where he's to. There's nobody near him. Not a soul near him. I'd almost hesitate and say I could probably make that goal, but I won't. Well, you have 2 D, George, that are down low, but they have a guy who's in behind them, and he's in the middle of them. That's just an easy, good deflection. Goaltender just doesn't have much of a chance on that one.
Pitcher sets up behind his net. They come cross ice to Bath. Bath gets to the blue line, shoots it in, goes into forecheck, going in there against Applin. Taken away. Parsons back at the point. Long shot over the top of the net. Puck was bouncing. Kings get it out down the ice. And it will be just enough to get in over the red line. The goal line, and we'll come back down to our left with 10:05 to go here in the first period. 2-0. Central Impact over the Western Kings.
Referee Canning is in and taking the Western Kings. Got a guy changed when it was an icing. Get back out, get back in.
Another face-off win for the Impact. Good work over along the boards by Hibbs. Threw it right in front of the goal. Cleared away by the Kings. Out they'll come. Pumped in by Furlong.
I really like the pace of this game, George.
It has been a quick one.
I like it. We've only had a couple of whistles, and that's been it.
Back to get it. Coles is being hounded there by Pittman. Backhanding it out was Buckle. Going on the breaks down the corner. Hibbs, he gets pushed to the boards. Puck comes loose and goes back to the boards. Whoa, just avoiding a hit there was Matthew Burke. Puck comes loose. Now comes Pittman. Pittman off a stick. It goes into the corner. Ingram is out there now for the Impact. First time we've seen him in a while. He's missed a number of games, as we said in the pregame, due to injuries. The puck goes up into the ceiling. Robert, I'm glad we don't have a game here tomorrow at like 6:30. There's a bit of a baseball game I'd like to watch tomorrow.
There's a lot of baseball games, George, and me being a baseball nut as I am, I don't watch much during the regular season, but I haven't gotten off the couch in 4 days. And yesterday was 9 hours. And
it's good to be retired, hey?
Well,
it has its benefits.
It does. It really does, yeah. I didn't play golf, but I did watch 3 baseball games. I'm still amazed at watching the relievers, Mason Miller with the Padres, and I mean, when you throw a changeup at 95 and you throw a fastball at 104, it's just mind-boggling, and they lost.
That's held by Hunt.
But,
the velocity in which the pitchers throw these days is up so much from what it was years ago.
I mean, everybody throws the ball 95 plus. Everybody. And
I wonder if that's why they don't last as long as they used to.
And you see them using their pitch count so much now, right?
Yeah. Anyway, big game tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, go Jays, go.
Jays and Yankees, yeah.
Jays had their number all for the regular season, and I'm sure that the Yanks are going to want some revenge there.
I caught a game between the Yankees and the Blue Jays this summer when I was in Toronto for the ball hockey.
Right.
And opening game of series in the middle of the season. But they won on a Monday night, which is nice. One shot blocked. Another shot that got through, and Lynch directs it to the boards. Gosney let that one go, and Gosney's going to go after it again. Big defenseman in on the forecheck. Out it comes. Kings have it. They'll bring it back. That shot kicked away by Lynch. Connors flips it in. Careful there, a bouncing puck. Get a bad bounce on that one.
Talking about having to be good down low as a shortstop.
Yeah.
But yes, George, just to finish up the thought about the baseball, and a couple of friends of mine went up and got to see the Jays play this summer as well against the Yankees. And speaking to a couple of them, they talked about, watching Aaron Judge and just how big the man is. I mean, everybody's big in Major League Ball, but he makes big men look small.
Yeah, we got there in time to watch the Yankees batting practice, so we could see Aaron Judge just send ball after ball into the stands. That's held by Lynch.
Yeah, so Canada will be glued to their televisions tomorrow.
No doubt.
NHL preseason and, of course, regular season starting.
It's a great time to be a sports fan, the fall.
It is.
Baseball playoffs, NHL starting, NBA starts in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
NFL is underway. Whoops.
Oh, sorry.
Connors took a little tumble. Whoop. Yeah, that's going to be a trip.
It was a missed outside call by the official, and it was a trip down low.
Referee Rob Canning picks that one up.
The first penalty of the afternoon, the evening, I should say. Early evening, that is. A 6:30 start, which is kind of different.
And Robert, you haven't noticed this. We got a brand new score bug we're using this year. We didn't put the
score bug.
Yes, the scoreboard. It's called a bug.
Okay.
Like the things you put on overlay on top of the screen, but
it's a lot of technology.
We get
there.
the logos there. We can put up the 5-on-4 on the power play, and
this is impressive.
And we just get a score.
And I've missed it.
Added that one to the system this summer.
You're non-stop, George.
Nice pass across and a good save by Lynch as he pushed off that right skate.
That's a great seam pass coming across, and it's very difficult to one-time those pucks, George, like that. That takes a skill. It looks easy, but it's not. Players practice it every day, however.
Timing's got to be just right, and it was that time. And Lynch timed it well as well. The goaltenders, as I say, pushed right to left and was there.
Well, actually, because it goes almost from boards to boards, it gives him a little bit more time.
Yeah.
If it goes from boards to the middle of the rink, it's a little quicker. But it's a good play, good save.
About 6.5 to go here in period number 1. A minute 20 to go in the power play. Coles holding it. Comes this side. Applin tried to feed it in front. Back to Coles. Austin down low. Tried to feed it into the slot. Swing and a miss there. All along the boards, and the impact get it and send it down the ice. Under a minute to go in the power play. Both teams change. Austin. Pass to the other side. It'll be brought in over the blue line. It's Furlong behind the net. Bursey. So back to the point. Lambswood. And it's poked just wide. Aiden Lambswood feels like he's been with the Western Kings forever.
Forever.
We got another penalty being called.
Yeah, down in front of the net, a little push behind the play.
That's going to go against the Kings with 18 seconds left to go in the power play.
What happened as the D-man was getting ready to go to try to fish the puck for the Central team, he got engaged, got the stick in his waist. Referee Canning catches that.
So we go 4-on-4 for the next 18 seconds. Referees come over to the
not sure why.
scorekeeper's bench. Conversation continues down below us. There you see the penalties, 18 seconds left to go in the initial penalty. Well, they've got it put up on the wrong side.
Yeah, that's what.
As I look at our screen.
I kept going and I said, yeah, it's on the wrong side.
I was about to change. I said, oh, it's 5-on-3. No. Yeah, that 2 minutes should go on
And I see
No, the 18 seconds is the one that really should go on the other side. They had it wrong the first time.
looks like Ken Hoffling in the penalty box.
It is.
And Ken Hoffling is very good.
Ken has
He's
retired about 4 times. He
Yeah.
got called back into service tonight. I understand the person who was scheduled to work this evening had to cancel last minute, and they called on Ken, and he was gracious enough to come out.
Well, his Habs aren't playing tonight, see, George.
Yeah.
Our Habs, I should say.
Our Habs, absolutely.
Anyway, he's pushing a lot of buttons down there, and he's
got
got
it
it
right.
worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad he can push them because I can't.
All right, 18 seconds left in the impact penalty. 4-on-4 for now. Price swings it across. That shot set in the crease. They score!
And that's 2 goals, George. As a result, the goaltender made the initial save on both of them, and the puck just lay there. Now, it's a 4-on-3 situation, but the thing is that, you know, you've got to be able to move people away from the front of the net.
Take it right from the faceoff. Price over to Snow.
I meant to say a 4-on-4, but they're just not boxing out, George. And you look at it, the players have their back to the play, and that's just no good. Back to the play and missing your man is going to result in a goal, and it's just resulted in 2. And now, you know, we talk about trying to keep players motivated. You're down 3-0, and we're still in the first period. You've got to really make sure that you know what's going on. Game could get away from you quite easily. Now, of course, Impact are on a power play.
Now they are on a 5-on-4 power play, and Hunt will hold it.
And George, while we got a moment, I'd like to sing congrats to all of the people who ran for council, Grand Falls, Windsor, and all the other communities. It takes courage to put your head in the ring, and congrats to the 6 councillors and acclaimed mayor, Mr. Michael Brown.
Yeah, here in Grand Falls, Windsor, we had a lot of people running, as there
17, I believe.
were, as there were in a lot of other places
Yeah.
as well. A lot of people put their name forward, and yes, it's not easy to do.
It certainly is not.
You put yourself out there, open yourself up for a lot of criticism. You get involved in politics. I always said, I'm not going to run. 2 reasons I'm not going to run. 1, I might lose and feel really bad about it.
Yeah.
And 2, I might win and then I got to go to work. So for those who are willing to put up with both those possibilities, I should say hats off to them.
Yeah, and hats off to Rod Blackie Bennett, who garnered the most number of votes and will be the new deputy mayor of Grand Falls, Windsor.
Yeah, it's 2 elections down this year, 1 more to go.
Yeah.
We've been a lot of voting this year. I'm exhausted.
Well, we have the provincials 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, a
2
week and a half.
Tuesdays.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 14th. Anyway, Pittman with a shot. That's deflected just wide. That was Ingram got that last goal for the Impact. We're down to under 4 minutes to go in the first. It's been all Impact.
It's going to be another goal here.
Badcock with a shot. Yeah, they were pressing. Kings get it out. The pitcher will go back to get it. Backhands it up, and that hit the rafters here at the Windsor Stadium.
Yeah,
Just 2 seconds left to go in the power play for the Impact.
Yeah, as a coach of the Western Kings now, the whole coaching staff, this is one where you really have got to try to do your best coaching and try to keep players ready to roll because it's not easy to do.
And the penalty is now over. So we are 5-on-5, shot ripped wide. Back in behind the net. Connors will pick it up over there. Can't get it out. It'll come back to Connors. And once again, can't get it out. Lynch leaves it behind the net for Haggett. Impact having trouble getting out of their own end right now. Perry will try and get it in the corner. He gets knocked down. Coming up with the puck. Sims. Good job by Lynch. Get the paddle down twice to prevent the puck from getting out in front of the net.
Scrappy play down low now.
Pass under the stick of Perry. He'll peel off and head to the bench and back to get it. Luke Murphy. Up to Sims. Sims is stopped at center by Ingram. As I mentioned, got that third goal. In behind the net, Connors hops on it, fed it out in front, looking for Gale. Connors steps into it over the top of the net. Off the glass and out. Connors heading to the bench. Got 2 minutes to go in the first period, 3-0. Ingram had it knocked off his stick, goes back down into the impact end to the side of the net, and Lynch will hold it there. And we'll get a face-off down to our right with 1:51 to go, opening period.
Some of the passes that the Impact are trying to make now go from D to forward, George, they're just too hard in close proximity. You need to spread it out a little bit more and put it a little bit further on the guy's stick. You're going to pass the puck 10 feet to someone and as a rocket, chances of them picking it up are going to be slim to none.
Bouncing puck taken by Snow. That'll get out. Back first, Applin. It's Ryan Applin. Also Aiden Applin on the team. Bath takes it down the right side, squeezed out along the boards by Gosney. It's kicked in behind the net. Applin on it first. Just flips it into the corner. It'll be kept in by Price. That came out, and linesman Mike Brent, eagle eye, picked that one off. Offside against the Impact. 1:13 to go here in the first.
Mike, no stranger to the ice. Between his playing, his coaching, his reffing, not sure where he gets time to stay home.
Buckle got it out. Only as far as the Impact blue line. Impact turn it, send it back down into the western end. Bursey cut off right away. Burke pushed against the boards. A bit of physical play all of a sudden. Bursey tried to drop it back. It came all the way out. Coles turns, shoots it in for the Kings. Pitcher back, reverses it along the boards. That was stopped by Bursey. Mausel got it into the corner for the Kings. Pittman for the Impact. Off the boards, too far for Burke. Bursey swings it this side for Furlong. And Coles will backhand it in. Boone just plays it to the boards. Just a few seconds to go as it's put wide. 3 seconds left here in the period. Back behind the net, the buzzer goes. That'll do it. First period comes to an end. A good one for the home side. They lead it 3-0 after the opening 20 minutes of play. Shots on goal in that first period. 15-8 in favor of the Central Impact.
Yeah, and a lot of quality shots for the Central Impact, George. And you score with 1:09 into the period. And then a couple of other ones were really some defensive lapses for the Western Kings. But it's 3-0. Let's see what happens in the next period.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back with period number 2 of this game here on AO.live in just a few minutes. All right, teams are back out on the ice as we get set for period number 2. As you can see, the Impact leading after the opening 20 minutes, 3-0. Still 33 seconds left to go in the penalty to the Kings to start period number 2. As we mentioned, these two teams play again tomorrow in Corner Brook. And for us, we've got a little over a month off between games.
Wow, that's a long time.
It is. Impact don't play at home again until November 7th. Well, they had a penalty up on the board against the Kings, but I was thinking there wasn't one. I was just going by the scoreboard, but
Yeah, I don't think
it's 5-on-5 out there, so we'll take that off. And they've got it off the main scoreboard here as well. Puck comes in to Hunt, and he will hold it there. Get an early face-off, just 17 seconds in to this second period in the Western Kings end.
we speak about this often, George, when we're on the air with the second period. You have the longer change. If you're the weak side D-man, getting out of your zone, you got to make sure that you're out in a hurry. You wait too many times, you get trapped in. What we mean by the weak side D-man, that's the furthest from the bench. That's a long way to go in the second period.
That's chipped over the top of the net, stays in the corner. Puck going down in the corner. Babcock kept on moving, kept his feet going. The Kings come up with it, get it out to the point. They'll get past Boone. And Boone's neck guard has come off. He's trying to push it back on. It's now sitting in the crease. He's got to get off the ice.
Yeah, it's going to be a penalty. The officials will let you do it if they don't realize it. They'll actually go by and tell you. He's going to get a penalty here now. There it is.
He started to head to the bench.
He picked up his neck protector, George, and continued into play.
Yeah.
And the official made the right call. It's just.
He's got to. When he picked it up, I just assumed he was just going to make a beeline to the bench, but he kept into play with the neck protector in his hand. You got to be.
That's just no good.
You got to be better than that.
Yeah, kudos to him to pick it up.
Yeah, but just not a good decision to stay in the play after.
Or the other thing is he had to go right immediately, and the official gave him a chance, and that was it.
So 5-on-4 power play for the Kings. Impact win the faceoff, ring it around the boards. It'll be kept in back at the point by Richards. Now they'll set up. Lambswood. Across to Bursey. Back to Lambswood. Back to Bursey, top of the circle, doesn't shoot it.
Haggett took that one off the leg, and he's struggling right now.
A blocker save by Lynch. That went straight up in the air off the blocker of the Impact goalie. Out of play. Yeah, he is making his way gingerly to the bench. There you see him. It's Carter Haggett. He blocked one, it stung, but I noticed he stayed in the shooting lane and went down to anticipating another block. Hung in there.
You better stay out. George, I'm watching all these people go by these big black containers. I was wondering what they are, but as far as gravy dressing, it looks like a huge container, George.
Yeah, the Windsor Stadium Canteen doing brisk business here this evening.
Well, I walked down the far end, and I just looked at the crowd, the lineup. I can't believe nobody's brought us some fries, gravy dressing. Chase, did you ask for any? Wow, terrible.
3 of us up here. None of us with any fries, dressing, gravy.
Starved.
That's dumped in. We don't have the penalty time put on the clock. Any issues with that?
No, and I just heard them down below saying it's 16:51 when it's over.
Okay.
Not sure what's
Austin
going on.
to Coles. I'll give it back to Austin. Not enough separation between the two
I was
players.
just going to say, George took words out of my mouth.
And the
Far too close.
I was thinking, what would Robert say here? I said, oh yeah, not enough separation.
None.
That's the phrase I'm looking for.
None. Zero. It's just too easy to defend.
Coles, well, just the pass had too much on it. Player too close to him. There's no
Yeah.
way of
Like two guys in a
Taking
phone
it.
booth. There's nowhere to go.
close together as you and I up here.
Well,
There's not much room up here. This is kind of like a phone booth.
yeah.
It's turned over. Here comes Badcock, short-handed, breaking in, shoots, stopped. Rebound set there for just a second and then cleared.
Now it's going to be a breakaway. Oh, maybe
Here's
not.
Austin, puts on the brakes, knocked off his stick. Badcock clears it out, and the penalty is now over. Back to 5-on-5, offside
That's a
at
good
the
call.
impact blue line.
He didn't clear on the inside over this way, and got to give the kudos to the linesman. He was Johnny on the spot. Couple of broken plays. A partial breakaway one way and a breakaway the other way.
Impact bring it in over the blue line. Put in wide by Badcock. He held in at the right point by Boone. Now it's out down the ice. They're saying it was tipped, so no icing. Back to get it. Pitcher puts on the brakes, and they push him to the boards. And on him quickly was Buckle. Did a good job on the forecheck. The second forward in. Well, they can go to work on the forecheck, and they come up with the puck. Good work. Murphy from the point. Shot one off a skate to the near boards. Badcock will pick it up and chips it. Nice play. Gale in over the blue line. Drops it off. Connors headed in his skates. Off the boards by Lucas, and out it comes. Lucas in over the blue line. Finally had it taken away. Kyler Lucas. Haggett off the glass and out. Maybe a little too much on it. That'll be an icing call against the Impact. 15:26 left to go in the second period. 3-0 Impact.
George, one of the things that you're looking at here now is that how much do you control the middle of the ice? And that's really effectively what'll dictate the end of the game. You know, if you're able to get some offense, well, that's where you're going to score most of your goals for. But if you take away the middle of the ice, you're going to be sound defensively. And it doesn't matter if you're ahead or behind. That's the two keys of any game. Controlling the middle of the ice in the offensive zones.
Offside against the Kings.
A couple of more face-offs in this period. I thought the first period went fairly quickly. Really good pace to the game. And it makes a difference when you got good ice, George. And you look out here tonight, the ice looks really good.
The ice looks exceptional. It was
Really?
not good the first weekend against Tripan a couple of weeks ago.
It was really
Really
bad.
bad ice. It was very slushy. Looks much better tonight.
It's a huge difference.
Impact keep it in. Ingram with a shot that went off a leg to the corner. Pittman plays it back to the point. Haggett keeps it in. Now it's taken by Gosney out. Haggett has it. Moves it to Pittman. Pittman this side to Hibbs. Hibbs has some speed down the right side. Threw it to the front of the goal off the goaltender Hunt. It comes all the way out to Hamlin. He's stopped at center. Maintains possession. Shoots it in. Kings are changing.
It's a great pass there by Hibbs.
Over to Badcock. On him right away was Bursey. Pittman into the crease looking for Badcock. Got a stick on it. And Badcock kept it in momentarily as he reached out and stole. It's going to be a penalty coming up to the Kings.
Yeah, it's a behind the play one. You had him lined up. You got to hold back on that one. An easy call for the official.
Price left it in the corner. Pittman behind the net. Back at the point for Owen Snow. Snow to Pittman. Burke back down into the corners. 6-on-5 with the goaltender on the bench. Delayed penalty coming up to the Kings. Snow. Shot off a stick and finally touched up.
Really, that insult to injury to number 11 for the Western King comes in to block that shot and got a stick cracked off in the process.
That was Aiden Applin. And heading to the penalty bench, number 19, Daniel Bursey. To the penalty box. 5-on-4 power play for Central Impact. Once they go get the puck, which is way down the other end, Mike Brent has to go back and retrieve it.
Hey, he's giving the other linesman a hard time saying, how come I got to do this?
All the way down.
Laughing
Back up.
laughing at each other.
Leading 3-0. Impact on the power play. And that gets past Boone. He's got to hustle back. Just gets there ahead of Matthew Buckle.
That was a good play.
Clendenning gains the blue line. Drops it off to Badcock. They'll swing it this side for Boone. Up top. Parsons, a pitcher with a shot that went over the top of the net. Boone's got it along the boards. Back to pitcher. Badcock. Pitcher. Shot. That was blocked by Buckle, and down the ice it goes. And again, Boone's got to hustle.
Buckle's not a big kid, but he got himself in a good position to make that play.
Feet went out from under Alexander, Carson Alexander of Western. He went down awkwardly, but seems to be okay. As the hit, he just kind of tried to put on the brakes there by the boards and lost his footing.
Yeah, Boone put a little bit of the shoulder into him. He anticipated the check.
Yeah. Pitcher trying to break in. It comes in front of the net. There's a chance sliding out. The goaltender, Hunt, made the save. He's down at the side of the net. He's got it facing the boards under his pads, and now we get a little bit of pushing and shoving behind the net, but not much comes of that. 49 seconds left to go in the power play. 12-13 to go in the period.
Couple of good shot blocks there by the Western Kings down low inside of the hash marks in the middle. And as you know, your best defender and your best penalty killer has got to be your goaltender, but your forwards or D are able to block those shots. That's just an added bonus.
Face-off win, Impact, Snow. It's a wrist shot right on goal. Right pad save made by Hunt.
Quality shot by Snow there.
Snow does a good job to keep that on side, but it'll be cleared out. Snow drops it back for Quinn Price. To Snow, he'll skate it in off the leg of Gosney to the boards. Impact maintained possession. Connors over the other side for Price. Bath behind the net, get it back to the point. 5 seconds to go in the power play. Shot again blocked, that time by Applin. It goes over the top of the net.
Western Kings did a really good job. I mean, 2-on-1 now.
Go back 5-on-5. Sims. Puck is held against the boards. Kings will get in a change as the puck is held there. Now it's in behind the Impact net, comes to the near corner. Kings on it first. Trying to feed it back to the point. They do. It is deflected. A couple of chances. A couple of stops by Lynch. Lynch looking for it. You can see the puck there right at the side of the net. Nobody can get a stick on it. And the net was lifted up a little bit. I think it went under the net.
It did.
And, yeah.
Came out through the crease.
Not called a goal this time.
No, we've heard that and seen that before.
Why
Unfortunately.
am I bringing that up for you?
No, shh. That's happened before. My goodness.
Sims got it to the front of the net, taken by the Impact. Sloppy play.
Yeah, they don't have enough
Last
space,
couple of
George.
minutes.
They're really having no puck support on the boards, and it's making it difficult.
Everything's along the boards. not much flow to it right now. Behind the net, Impact try and get it to the boards and out. Collision down in the corner. Out they come. Ingram with a shot, scores!
Ingram, who had an injury, was out for a while, comes back. He's a good goal scorer, George. He's one of these guys that you don't see much of, and then all of a sudden his on a stick and is in the net. But I was watching the battle down below, and it was a real good check that was put on Landon Hims. He was able to get the puck out. You just see that the check right here, but then it's a D to forward pass and then comes right up, and then the guy goes to the inside, but the goaltender's got to have that one, George. Really wasn't much of a screen, hits his glove and goes in, and that's not only is it a tough goal to give up, but it's a tough goal to give up at this stage of the game. And, 3-zip, now 4-zip, those are really tough.
A good job on the penalty kill, and then gave it up. Saying not much happening. All of a sudden, a couple of passes, and Ingram puts it in the back of the net.
Yeah.
I was commenting on this when they played the Osprey a couple of weeks ago, Robert, but the Impact seemed much more quicker on the transition this year than we've seen in other years.
They've got a couple of new players, George, and they're veteran players as well, but they've got some good team speed, and that's pivotal. Well, one of the things is that their D-men this year, George, handle the puck much better and are quicker with the puck.
You recall the first couple of years of the Impact, one of the issues they had was spending too much time in their own end.
They just never had anybody get the puck out quickly.
Weren't offensive-minded defensemen, and an offense in terms of moving the puck to the forwards quickly and getting things started, getting that transition game much quicker this year. And they're missing three of the guys who are really good at it.
Yeah, and not only that, George, but the thing is that if you actually look at
a little frustration down in the corner, officials get in quickly.
You actually look at games, George. It's so important that your defensemen go D to D, D to D, D to D, and that needs to happen a couple of hundred times in a game, believe it or not. And teams actually count those with their stats people that they actually do them, and that is so good to avoid the forecheck to come out, bring the puck out on what we call a weak side. And then because of that, it frees up, and that's where you talk about, you spoke about the transition game, that's where it takes place.
They were guilty early in this franchise history. We'll get back to that. Here's a 2-on-1. Drop for Badcock. Went off, I think, the defenseman and up over the top of the net. Caught the defenseman's stick. I was saying early in the early years for this franchise, defense were guilty of not just going D to D, but going D to D, back to the D, back to the D. And next thing, forecheckers were all over them.
Yeah, so you go D to D.
Much quicker this year.
And then you go D to D to avoid the forecheck. If you give it back to the guy that just avoided the forecheck, that means he got the game, and you don't want that.
Yeah. Do it once and move it up the ice.
Yeah, and D to D a couple of times is not bad to hit the glove. It's not too bad if you have what we call a little bit of free ice and you move up. But if it's just D to D and it's lateral, that's no good. You're not moving the puck up ice. But if you go D to D and back D to D, you need to have, and you heard me say this before, separation. You got to have some separation. That means that you got to have someone 12 or 15 feet ahead of you.
As we mentioned off the top, in case you didn't catch it, three key players for the Impact not available for this game as a result of suspensions in last Saturday night's game against the Growlers. Adam Byrne, Anthony Hurley, and Kagan Hounsell.
They're all out for tomorrow as well, I believe, George?
No, just Byrne.
Okay, the other two, okay.
It was a two-game suspension for Hounsell and Hurley.
Right, so they played, or they missed a game in.
They missed Sunday's game, they missed tonight, so it'll be good for Corner Brook tomorrow. And I tell you, Anthony Hurley
and Hounsell will be back.
Is something to watch.
He is.
Guess you saw him play when he was younger?
Yeah, I did. I saw him play. And
right in front of the chance. That's blocked by the defense.
He was always a stud on every team he played, George. And, of course, going down to prep school and that last year and playing around and gaining so much more.
He played at Kent School in Connecticut. That's played with a high stick. And he had a very good year last year. I was looking at his stats. I think it was 66 points in 40-something games, 45 games.
Oh, he had a great year.
Great addition to the Impact this year. Unfortunately, we don't get to see him tonight, but hopefully he'll Be back in the lineup when we next see the Impact, as I mentioned, a month from now, a little over a month, November 7th.
And you think about Keegan Hounslow had a great year last year, George, as a first-year player.
Snow with a shot. Scramble in front, and Hunt's got that one.
So they have he's a grade 11 this year. So Hurley's back, and they already got a core group of returnees, George, and that makes a big difference. And that goes back to, the early stages of this franchise. There were some real painful years, but it's gotten better and better and better each year. And that's a tribute not only to the players, but to the organization from top down.
Kings get it out, dump it into the Impact end. Snow back to get it. Closing on him quickly is Richards. That pass picked off, a shot over the top of the net. Puck comes to the near boards. Players pile in there. Off the glass and out to center. Ingram overskated it. Played back in by Bursey. Dangerous pass there, but they get away with it.
Yeah.
Pittman's got it.
It's outside. That's a tough pass. That's one that's, because he had a lot of steam on it and the player was stopped. But other than that, more times than not, that gets picked off and you find the back of the net. That was not offside, however. It got touched outside. And referee is telling big Michael Brent, let's move that to the middle of the ice.
Yeah, it was a mistake. As soon as he blew the whistle, he put his arms up. And my mistake on that one.
Yeah.
There's Haggett to Hibbs to Badcock, and in it goes. Applin puts on the brakes down in the corner. Hibbs is back in his own end to pick it up and get away from Rousel. Kings come up with it. Gosney to the front of the net. Hibbs takes it to safety behind the net, and then heads up the ice. He's got a little bit of room to go. And then Hibbs in over the blue line. Shot stopped by Hunt. Directs it into the corner. Right out in front. Great save by Hunt.
He got turned around in his net and was wondering what was going on.
Gale back at the blue line. Kept it in. A lot of kids here at the game today. You might be able to hear them. They're running around right below us.
It's a good crowd. They're enjoying themselves.
Having a great time. They are directly below our, we'll call it a booth, our platform here in the middle of the stands.
We apologize to all the fans who come to watch the games and where we're situated.
Yeah, the platform is supposed to be back a little bit further, but we're stuck down a little lower than we would like to be. And we do block off a number of seats.
Jace, can you get that picture of those fries down there? Wow, that is impressive.
There we go.
That is impressive down here. George,
I know the smell is impressive. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah, George, I'm going to tell you right here now, the Western King player was coming back to D-man.
Yep.
He actually clipped his goaltender when he was going by, and I watched his leg buckle a little.
Hunt is out now skating around and testing that leg.
Yeah, as he was turning, he didn't realize how close he was to the goalie, and it's one of those ones that
there he is.
He catches you in an awkward position, and I watched his leg go back like a hyperextension.
Yeah, he skated all the way into the corner and was just flexing his legs, trying to make sure everything was okay, and went back into the net. Hopefully he's all right. Behind the net, played to the corner by Murphy. It's knocked down. Bath behind the net, leaves it there. Clendenning back to Boone, went off the skate of Aiden Applin. The Kings get it out. Brought in Alex Austin, and a shot Stopped by Lynch, and he directs it up into the mesh. Face-off will stay in the Impact end. 4:07 to go. Second period, 4-0 for the Impact.
The other thing with these Central Impact team this year, George, is that a number of their players who are out, actually, the three that we spoke about, but not only do you get Anthony Hurley back and you get Keegan Housen, but their team size is much bigger than we've seen in years, George. And that includes their forwards. You know, they've always had a couple of big D, but their D this year are not quite as big, but they're mobile. They got a couple of big D, but they're good skaters. If you look at Landon Hibbs, he's a big kid, but he's a very good skater as well.
Price got tied up, but got it out, and a shot down the ice. And this will be icing as Bursey gets back there first for the Western Kings. 3:46 to go, second period.
Western Kings are looking just for anything, George. If they can, just to keep a little bit of positivity and, get a couple more quality shots on net, and, that's what you want. Because, I know it's 4-0 and it's hard to battle, but that's what you're here for.
Neither team has generated a lot of offensive chances here in the second. That hits some bodies in front. Shots on goal in the second. 7-5 favor the Impact. There's a goal.
That's two bad ones, George.
Yeah, similar sort of goal. Even a little steeper angle.
Yeah, and George, I'll tell you, he's still hurting. I'm watching him.
That's Ingram again. Got him twice.
Over on the left side. That one was even a tougher angle, as you said. Like, the other one was in the middle of the rink. There was D-man a little bit, but you watch this one. He almost shoots this off of the boards, really. Like, you just can't score from there. No, that's a toughie. And George, I'm going to tell you, going into the third period, I would not be surprised to see a goalie change. Not necessarily because of the 5-0 score, but he's still laboring after he got clipped by his D-man there a couple of shifts ago. I'm watching him.
That's cleared down into the Impact end. Burke back to get it. Burke around the boards, gets it to Price.
As a matter of fact, I'm looking at the goaltender down here now, getting ready. The backup goaltender, that is.
It's lifted high, a little too high into the ceiling. Face-off will stay in the Impact end.
Yeah, they're going to make a change here now.
Change is happening right now. Coming in, Andrew Dillon will replace Matthew Hunt.
Yeah, he's hurting, George, and there's a couple of weak goals, but he's hurting.
Yeah, he did not recover, as you say, when he got his leg clipped by his own defenseman.
I watched that play, and he tried to, and of course, if you're a goaltender, you're hurting with your leg. And that's probably one of the reasons why that goal went in. Tough enough to play goal when you're healthy. Here's where Coach Casey and Tremlett for the Impact team or George are going to stress your commitment to detail. And that's so important right now. Generally speaking, the game is in hand, but it's a commitment to detail right now and no complacency.
Hibbs, you mentioned, big guy who can skate. The defenseman joining the rush. Sit down into the corner, looking for pitcher. Parsons, rather. That gets over the head of Hibbs, all the way down the ice, and getting back first, Carter Haggett. It'll be an icing call against the Western Kings. 2:07 to go, second period. Comfortable for now, 5-0 lead for the Impact.
Yeah, and that's one of the things right now, and both coaches are going to be pretty much the same speech. You're going to get in the dressing room. You need to keep battling, and that's the thing, whether you're down 5 or you're up 5. The only thing you can control, as me and you've said so many times, is your effort.
That's it.
That's all you can do.
Good hit there. Connors got knocked down. Okay. We'll get the number of the Western Kings player. He was throwing his weight around in there. His jersey tucked up a little bit. That was number 10, Morgan Castle. A couple of good hits. Here's Stolen coming off the bench. Scores! Alex Austin.
Yeah, Alex Austin is just, a stud in this league, George. He's been a great player at every level since he's played. and he picks up a loose puck in the, I can't even say the neutral zone, almost at his blue line, and he goes in and
he
just
was
makes it look
replacing
easy.
Castle, who was headed to the bench.
He
and
was.
He jumped off the bench and picked up that loose puck.
Yeah, given the open ice, he's going to, you watch right here, and of course, Impact just got caught up a little bit, and if you watch, just a nice wrist shot, beats the goaltender. And what I liked about it more than not just the goal, but he just puts his head down, turns around, comes back to center ice. No celebration. I like that.
Gosney gets an assist on the Austin goal, and it's 5-1.
I get to see some of these guys on the soccer field in a couple weeks' time as EVH high school team go to Corner Brook for the provincial soccer championships. Should be interesting.
Gale, with under a minute to go in the second period, brings it in. Back for Gale behind the net. Impact on it. Gale still with it. Twisting, turning, looking out in front. They get it in front. And a good save made there by Dillon. He came in to replace Matthew Hunt just a couple of minutes ago. His first real test.
Yes, and not a big goaltender at all, especially compared to Hunt. It's Alex Austin again.
Here he comes. 1-on-3. A shot went off the leg of Snow, who stayed with him. Sims. Another chance. Good save there by Lynch.
That was an overskate by the D-man for Impact at that time. Looking to go with the puck. You got to get the puck.
Daniel Bursey had that great opportunity, and Lynch got the right pad down, made the save. Buzzer goes. Second period comes to an end. Impact with a couple of goals in that period. Western Kings respond with one late, and it is 5-1 after 2 periods of play. Shots on goal after 2. 23-15 in favor of the Impact. All right, we will take a little break here as they clean the ice for our second intermission. We'll be back with the third period of this game coming up very shortly. You're watching Newfoundland and Labrador under 18 Major Hockey League action from the Windsor Stadium here in Grand Falls, Windsor. Stay with us, everyone. underway. Teams are at center ice. We are getting set to start period number 3. Just underway. 5-1. Impact leading the Western Kings after the opening 40 minutes of play. Haggett will shoot it in for the Impact. Dillon in goal now for the Western Kings. He replaced starting goaltender Matthew Hunt, who was shaken up in that second period. Hibbs has to go all the way back into his own end to get it. Leaves it for Haggett. And a bit of water on the ice. That pass stuck in the water.
Did it
and
ever?
It's stuck again.
We're talking about the ice was good, but we can see water here now.
Yeah, a little too much water out there. Hopefully that will freeze in the next minute or two. Parsons will bring it in. Parsons tried to draw it back. Connors following up on it. Shot that was blocked by Alex Coles. Puck bouncing around at center. Getting to it first was Aiden Applin. He'll shoot it in. Snow gives it to Price. And out it comes. Good work there by Coles to bring it in. Drops it off. Stopped by Pittman. Pittman comes the other way. Pittman in over the blue line. Holding it. Shot off the stick of Bursey into the corner. Kings come up with it. Nice move there to get himself free. It's going to be offside, though, as the pass came out. That was Alex Austin. Who else with that nice move inside the blue line? Price drops it off to Snow. Good pass up the blue line for Ingram. He's poke checked. Burke plays it behind the goal. On it first, Murphy.
You were talking about earlier, George, the transition game which the Impact got. And one of the things that I also noticed is that their defensemen really passed the puck hard. And that is critical.
Snow. Gale chips it off the boards for Burke. And out they come. Pittman brings it in, leaves it for Gale. Gale with a move and then had it go off the end of his stick. Badcock keeps it in for Gale. Gale loves to work behind the net. Great passer.
Yeah, he's a good board player. Protects the puck very well, puts himself in good positions.
Comes just out over the blue line and touched somebody at the Western Kings bench. Face-off will be just outside the blue line. We've played just under 3 minutes here in the third period.
And George, when I usually get a chance to take in some Impact practices, and I just watched their commitment to detail, and you're talking about Gale down below, how he loves to work the puck along the boards. They practice this all the time when you do cycle plays and all that. Everybody thinks that, oh, you get there and you continuously shoot pucks. You can have great practices and never shoot a puck.
Kings get it out, dump it down into the Impact end. Pitcher going in there with Applin. Kept in by Gosney. Shot right on goal, kicked away by Lynch. Applin dropped it back to Lucas. Taken away by Boone to Pitcher.
It's a tough giveaway right there.
Bursey back in his own end. Takes it behind the net. Kings bring it out. Coles with a shot that hit the side of the net. Kicked away by Lynch. Here's Burke, 3-on-2. That pass missed everybody. And we've got a player for the Impact shaken up down in the corner. That's Carter Haggett.
He got pushed into the boards kind of awkwardly. He pushed. He never got, it wasn't a hard check, but referee was on the spot. There's no penalty coming. Well, he jammed the wrist. But he's in a lot of discomfort right here now. Physiotherapist James Cranton's out tending to him. Think he's going to be all right. Wasn't a hard smack at all, but one only knows.
14:30 left to go, third period.
He is gone to the dressing room, however.
Burke back to get it. Shot right back in. Lynch will stop it there. Leaves it for Price. That one off a skate. And fanning on it was Buckle. All right, Kings with it at center. Get it in. That's Furlong. Leaves it in the corner. Bath pokes it behind the net. Got past Snow. On it first over there is Hamlin for the Kings, along with Furlong. And Price is away. Price up the right side. 3 across for the Impact as they cross the blue line. Throw it in front. Gosney's got it. Gale to his backhand, fed it in front looking for Pittman. It's tipped just wide. Price holds it in. Thrown him to the corner. Bath doing battle along the boards, gets it back to Price. Price puts on the brakes, gives himself a little bit of room, takes it in a bit deeper. And high in the air to the far boards, taken there by the Kings. To an open wing, taking it off the board smartly was Hamlin. Had it taken away by Price. To Boone. And they'll just get rid of it at center. It's Austin. Stops up behind his net. It's about 12 minutes to go here in the third period. 5-1 for the Impact. Bursey up at the blue line, tipped in by Austin. Pitcher back first for the Impact, reverses it on the boards for Connors. Connors gets rid of it at center. Coles has it. Coles tried to play it ahead for Bursey, knocked out of the air by Badcock. And the Impact are on it, get it to the front of the net. Connors has it in the corner. Had it taken away by Bursey. To the boards it goes. The Impact have it. Tried to get it out in front for Connors. That was intercepted. Clendenning.
It's a player hurt down behind the net.
Another Impact player shaken up down the far end.
Struggling to get off the ice here.
That's Aaron Badcock. So right now it's essentially 5-on-4. They bobble it at the blue line. It'll come out. Badcock heads to the bench. Hopefully nothing serious with him. Clendenning coming the other way. Clendenning with a move at the blue line. Gets it to Burke. Burke in the corner. Turns. Push to the boards.
A little bit of physicality here the last couple of minutes, George.
Under 11 to play. Puck is dumped in. It's going to be a penalty. Likely slashing.
Yeah, definitely.
It's tripping.
See,
that's what you get for agreeing with me.
Coming behind the back of the play, and well, he went down as a result of the slash, which was a check. Couple of injured players now, the last couple of shifts for the Impact team. George, we saw Haggett go to the dressing room. He hasn't returned yet. I can't see him. And then Badcock, who was under a little bit of duress down the far end, he managed to get the look. He's getting some talking to there by the busiest man for the last 5 minutes for the Cataracts. Cataracts. Central Impact, that being James Grant. Badcock seems a little woozy.
And he stays on the bench, though. So anyway, power play for the Western Kings. Minute 45 left to go in their man advantage.
And you're the Western Kings coach, Robinson. You just like to say to your team, see if we can win a period. Let's win this period. We might not necessarily win the game, but let's win the period. Create some little bit of positivity going back to Corner Brook for tomorrow.
Applin to Lambswood. Hamlin takes it behind the net. That was blocked by Haggett, who's back out there.
That was a good block, too. Not a big guy, but he got in good position.
So Haggett said couldn't see him on the bench. He's on the ice, and then he's shaken up again.
He is.
Blocked a shot.
Yeah, he's in the battle.
I think that one just stung more than anything.
Yeah.
Easy for me to say. Applin, good speed, good shot. Blocker save made by Lynch. 45 seconds to go in the power play.
It's going to be a penalty there, George. That's head contact.
So there's going to be another penalty coming up to the Impact. Here's Bursey holding it. Shot, that's blocked.
You cannot engage like that. The player was against the boards, and he squat his head into the boards.
It's brought in offside. And with 30 seconds left to go in the first penalty, be another penalty to the Impact, so a 5-on-3 power play. Well, there's a Kings player going, no. There's a King player going to the penalty box. He started to go there, and I think the linesman said, no, you don't have a penalty. Or we'll get some discussion. Yeah. Austin started to go, and
the original penalty was going against the Impact team for a head contact over on the boards.
yeah.
It's a clear penalty.
So somewhere during that delayed penalty, Alex Austin picked one up as well.
4 minutes head contact. That's
I think they're both getting that.
actually, I think he might be getting kicked out of the game.
Snow was gone. Well, gates come open.
He is getting kicked out of the game.
So a little bit of confusion right now as we try and get these penalties sorted out. we do. We'll leave it 5-on-4 until they sort this out. Referee Rob Canning telling the official scorekeeper what the penalties are. Still 30 seconds left to go in that tripping penalty to the impact. That'll slow things down with 9:09 to go in the third period.
I always get amazed when the referee has explained this to the captains and assistant captains. There's no way the captain or assistant captain can remember all that to go over and give it to the coach. Just can't do it. So it's just well to go over and tell them in the beginning.
So I think they got 5 and we got 4, and then he got a game, and then I can't remember after that.
That's right.
The coach is okay. Thanks. We'll figure this out. So now the referee goes to the he's down talking to Brian Tremlett of the Impact assistant coach. Nothing else up on the scoreboard at this point.
Western Kings are going to end up with at least a 2-minute power play, in my estimate. It might be more, because Impact would have gotten a 4-minute head contact and an ejection from the game, which I didn't know you could get ejected for a 4-minute head contact. I thought it had to be a major for 5, but I watched him put 4 fingers of head contact, but then he's out of the game. That was Owen Snow. Austin's penalty and the other penalty came afterwards, some type of altercation, which I'll be honest with you, I didn't see because I was looking over at the player who was hurt for the Western Kings against the boards.
So we have got, it is indeed 5-on-3. We can put that one back up.
Yeah, so it had to be a 5-minute major. Perry is going to be serving the penalty portion of Owen Snow's penalty. He's in the penalty box for Central Impact, and the only player in the box for Western Kings is their best player, Alex Austin.
Well, as I look out now, it is 4-on-3.
Okay.
We'll get the announcement in a minute, but it is a 4-on-3 power play shot, stopped by Lynch and cleared by the Impact. The only penalty showing on the score clock is the initial tripping penalty, which now has 20 seconds left to go in it. And then Parsons will come out. So the other ones must have offset. So then we'll go 4-on-4 in another 5 seconds. Oh, it's 4-on-4. That shot tipped, goes wide, hits the side of the net.
Yeah, the penalty to Parsons is over now.
It is 4-on-4 out there. Right into the crease, they score!
Yeah, Lynch made
Aiden Applin.
Lynch made the first save off his pad and went right to the Western Kings forward on the left side, and he was able to beat Lynch. High blocker side, I'm sorry. You just watch this, it's just a battle along the boards here. Loose puck comes out, and you see him trying to make that pass across. It goes off of the impact stick and right to
Applin.
Applin in the just outside of the blue paint, and he makes no mistake, buries it. Can't
5-2.
Did we get an announcement on the penalties, George? I never heard.
They started to make an announcement. Be honest, I could not pick it out.
Okay.
So, either way, we're now still 4-on-4. There's even strength goal. Just over 7.5 to go here in the third period. Pitcher across to Boone. Boone shoots it in right on goal. Cleared away by Dillon to the boards. Pittman gets to it first for the impact. Keeps it on side. Tried to cut to the other side. Taken away by Hamlin. Hamlin in over the blue line all alone on this rush. His teammates were changing. The two defensemen. Hamlin forced outside. So now the penalty to Austin is over.
They'll be on a power play
and
now.
it's 5-on-4. Get that straight now. The penalty to Impact still on the board. 5-on-4 for the Kings.
Yeah, there's no penalties up on the
So we don't know how much time is left
No,
on
but
this 5-on-4. A lot of trouble with the penalty score clock here at Windsor Stadium this evening.
yeah. Good thing there hasn't been a lot of penalties.
Except for the last few minutes.
There's nothing for the first couple now.
Not a lot. It's Alex Austin back in his own end. So it is 5-on-4. We cannot tell you for how long. They'll bring it in. Sims back at the point. This is Coles with it up top. Coles gets the return pass. Wrist shot kicked away by Lynch. Under 6 to play. And taken by the Impact, sent down the ice. Chance for Western Kings to get back in this one on the power play. They could cut this to a 2-goal lead. Still 5.5 to go. That shot up high, stopped by Lynch. High on the chest. Kings stay on it. Applin, wrist shot, went off a leg into the corner. Sims back at the point. Applin up top, Bursey. Austin. Cross shoot, scores!
Not sure, George, if he meant to get
Ryan Applin.
all the way across or not. I thought it was going to be the middleman, but it gets him on the weak side. And what a great goal. What a great pass.
First it was Aiden Applin. This one is Ryan Applin.
Some delays right here. You see it coming across. I think he meant to try to feed it for the middle, but nevertheless, it gets to the far side. And we saw that play them a couple of times in the first period. The goaltender Lynch came up with some saves. That one was just a real good one. Coach Casey, I think, is going to take a timeout.
Like I said, this would change the game. Now it's just a 2-goal game. It was 5-0 late in the second period. Kings got one late that didn't seem like it was going to be much of a factor.
I think that they're asking about the penalty as well, George. I don't think that they quite understood. And I'm thinking that it's still a power play for at least 2 more minutes. I wish I had of heard, but
yeah.
I know that it was a 5-minute major. He got kicked out of the game. You don't get kicked out for a double monitor, but he did put his 4 fingers up for 4-minute head contact. But you got a major penalty, kicked out of the game. I don't think you get kicked out for 4 minutes for head contact, do you?
Not that I'm aware of, Robert.
Because Eddie Flood is listening. Why don't you give me a call, Eddie?
Referee in chief. So it stays.
And they're still on a power play, George. So
and again, we have no idea how much time is on this power play.
It had to be a 5-minute major, though, because if not, the penalty be over.
So great chance. Ooh, that hit the end boards, came off the goaltender and ended up in behind that. I thought for a second it might have gone in.
I did too.
Applin shot, stopped by Lynch. Penalty trouble here for the Impact.
This game is far from over.
4.5 to go. It's only a 2-goal game and still a power play for the Kings. Applin lost as he got in over the blue line, but it's kept in by the Kings down in the corner. They've got it along the boards, back at the point. Coles across.
So the penalty is going to be over here.
Shot is tipped.
In a couple of seconds.
It bounces around. They score.
They scored again, George.
Just as the penalty had expired.
Yeah.
Wow, this would be An amazing comeback. The Kings can finish this off.
Perry, who was serving the penalty, the 5-minute major, I'm assuming it was a 5-minute major for Owen Snow, got out with a second. And as he was getting out of the box, obviously Impact could not get the player back in, and it was one of those plays in front of the net. It eluded goaltender Lynch. We've got ourselves a game, George. 5-4 with a lot of time left, 4 minutes left in this game.
We are back to 5-on-5, just over 4 minutes left, but wow, what a turnaround.
First bit of adversity that the Central Impact team has really faced tonight.
Yeah, it looked like they were cruising to an easy win, 5-0, second period. He said that Austin got one late, and you think, okay, they get one, but
now they've just scored 3 more.
yeah, wasn't expecting this kind of turnaround. This will just come out.
Applin with another.
Aiden Applin. So the Applins, 3 goals. Aiden with 2. Ryan with the other one. Here comes Ingram. Ingram's got himself a couple of goals. Quick release, just missed far side, but that's going to carry him all the way back down into the Impact end.
You got to hit the goaltender.
Heads up. Hit the glass. He's heading for the Impact bench. Didn't get there. Stays in play. Play continues. Burke. 3 minutes to go in the third. Price over the other side. Haggett will get there first and backhand it in. Offside.
Yeah, that's the thing. Your leadership group now, your players now for Central Impact, you know, facing a bit of adversity. And the thing is, you still have a 1-goal lead. You've got to look at yourself and say, okay, now guys, 3 minutes left. That's another 2 or 3 shifts, 40 seconds each. That's all we got to do.
Kings coming back in over the blue line, and it's played back out by the Impact out at center. Kings now with a much more jump in their game.
Yeah, rightly so.
Come right down to Lynch, just plays it into the corner. Connors to the near boards. Gale on it first. 2.5 to go. They'll just get rid of it. Panic play there, but well caromed. Right to the goaltender, so no icing. Break there for the Impact. Back comes Coles with a good rush.
There's a couple of good rushes for him. I really like the way he skates in the open ice.
Cleared down. Goaltender plays it up towards the blue line. Picked off there by Boone. Boone gets to the center red line, shoots it in. Under 2 to go. And they come again. Look out. Austin with speed. He's got it circling the goal, takes it all the way back towards the blue line, then cycles it back down low.
Yeah, Austin's not getting off the ice anymore this night.
1.5 to go. Pittman got a stick on it and got it out. Pittman racing after it. Bercy will get to it.
Empty net.
Net is empty. Now that shot may have gone off Lynch.
I think it did.
He
put his stick. Yeah, it's going to stay inside.
Yeah, up and out of play. 1:15 to go.
Faceoffs are very critical now. It's not a matter of you winning the faceoff. You don't want to lose it cleanly. Speaking from a defensive point of view from the Central Impact.
All right. Face off to Lynch's right, and Western Kings do win it cleanly. Shot comes in, rattles around. Lynch able to keep it out. Backhand is stopped. Hits some bodies. Back at the point. Still over a minute to go. They throw it right in front. Another chance. Lynch with a couple of saves, and then he covers it.
And George, that's the difference between a face-off win and a loss. You're the centerman. You cannot get beat cleanly like that. I know it's easy to say from up here, but you can't. It's just too easy.
And the shots on goal have turned around too. Now 28-25 in favor of the Kings. Penalty trouble.
Another
all
face-off
this
loss
for the Impact. Another win for the Kings. Hibbs in behind the net. Again, the Western Kings net is empty. 6-on-5 out there. And the Kings come up with it. Along the boards into the final minute. Connors has it down the ice. That's going to be another icing call with 37.9 seconds to go. Face-off back in the impact end.
And George, I've got to go back to the face-off. The face-off being over on the right-hand side. The Central Impact do not have a right-handed centerman, which is what you need. You need a right-handed centerman here now in this situation, not a left. And this is where Adam Byrne is made.
And again, another clean win for
3 in a row.
Alex Austin. Out in the corner. Kings with it. And taken away, cleared, and hit somebody at the impact bench. Again, the face-off will stay in the impact end.
But it'll be on the other side now. So a left-handed centerman now, which is his strong side, will do better.
20.3 seconds to go. Again, it's going to be Austin who won 3 face-offs in a row over on the other side. No, he's not going to take it. Aiden Applin took it. Puck goes to the boards, back towards the point. Intercepted by Gale. Gale racing after it. Applin will get back first. Ryan Applin. Time winding down into the final 10 seconds. Impact will hold it against the boards. Time is going to run out, I believe. Just a couple of seconds left. One last shot by Austin. Right on net as the buzzer goes.
Penalty behind the play here as well. A little frustration on the Western Kings part.
Well, that was not the finish we were expecting when this game was 5-0 in the second.
And you're Coach Robinson now with the Western Kings. As I said, when we come into this period, if you can win the period, and they won the period very well, they finished with a loss, but it's not as much as the loss as how they battled in the last period. Very exciting finish for these Western Kings. Won 3 faceoffs in a row with the goaltender pulled and had a couple of great opportunities to tie the game up.
Yeah, they certainly made a game of it.
They
As
did.
I said, penalty trouble for the Impact in that third period. 5-on-3, extended power plays, 5-on-4, and they turned this one into a real barn burner. Did not look that way.
No, and then they, of course,
with a couple of minutes to go in the second.
Final shots 28-25 in favor of the Western Kings. They really put a great third period in.
Yeah, it was 5-1 in favor of Impact coming into this third period. So credit to the Western Kings.
Tomorrow's game is going to be a really good game, I would think. You know, Western Kings got something to build on. They're going to a building tomorrow. It's much bigger.
They're back at home tomorrow.
And the Impact has a great skating team. And, of course, we talked about earlier at the outset of our game, they'll have 2 of their premier forwards back.
Anthony
Hurley and Keegan Hounsell.
Yep.
Adam Byrne will still be out. But and, George, I can remember Adam Byrne, who plays a lot of center and right wing. But in a situation to the right side of your goaltender, you need a right-handed centerman in that position. You drop back on your strong side in the corner. And it's a tough one for a left-handed centerman.
They managed to hang on. 5-4, Impact win it. So, folks, we're going to have an extended break here for the home games. As I mentioned a couple of times during the game, Impact not back at home again until the first week of November here in Grand Falls, Windsor. So we'll take a month off, Robert. I'll get to pack up all this gear again, bring it home.
It's exciting for you.
I just brought it out here this afternoon.
Okay.
Just not too often we set everything up for just one game. But it was a good one.
Yeah, it certainly was. It's my first one to see in person. I really enjoyed it. And, of course, as anybody is familiar, the last, 5 or 6 years, George, the Impact team and, of course, the whole league itself is very entertaining hockey.
Oh, absolutely. This U18 Major Hockey League is fun to watch. It was a fun one last night out in Mount Pearl, 9-8 with a shootout.
Yeah.
So I guess we're saying
fun for the fans. It wasn't fun for the coaches.
Yeah, if you get a chance, come out and catch an Impact game if you're in the Grand Falls, Windsor area. And again, they're back here in about a month. All right, that's going to do it for us. Final score, Central Impact 5, Western Kings 4. For Robert Golding and cameraman Jason Power, my name is George Scott. Folks, have yourselves a great night.